Good Monday morning, everyone. I'm Greg. This is Stephanie. This is our podcast, Living in Key West. We are both real estate agents here in the Florida Keys. If you ever thought about getting a little slice of paradise, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you guys find that dream vacation or permanent home. Stephanie, what's up? What's going on in the world with Stephanie? Yeah, get your mic.
I'm just adding some things to our Amazon storefront because I was thinking that was so smart because we were talking about it right before we started recording, and some of the treats that I talked about last week are also on Amazon, so I was able to add it to our storefront. So, yes, what is going on? Well, we've been working on... Sorry, Naya just barked. We've been working on client work all day.
All weekend.
Yes.
All week, really.
We've been at home working on the deal all day, but we have been running around looking at houses with our clients all weekend, Friday, Saturday. It was awesome.
It was.
And we saw beautiful real estate.
Fun.
Yes, it was great fun. But yeah, that's kind of like the big thing that's been going on.
We saw a lot of really beautiful houses.
Yeah.
Excellent clients too.
Oh my gosh. Like dream clients.
Yeah.
Dream clients.
You guys know who you are.
Yes, we feel lucky when we get to work with wonderful people. It makes the work even like so much more of a pleasure.
Yep.
We feel lucky to be able to do this job anyways because
we're in paradise.
We're in paradise looking at beautiful real estate and helping. Most of the time people who we work with are so excited and they're fulfilling a dream. Like we're helping them fulfill a dream. It's so exciting. It's so positive. But you have those clients who are just like a little extra kind and
makes it all more
grateful for your help. And it really does. Yeah. It even makes it that sweeter.
And all the houses that we looked at 9 or 10 houses in total.
Yeah.
Half were in the Middle Keys. So kind of marathon to Duck Key.
Yep.
And then the other half were down here in the Lower Keys.
Mm-hmm.
All the way down to technically Key West.
Yeah. They had some very specifics about what they wanted in their house. And they have spent a lot of time in the Keys, and they have certain areas that they're comfortable with and really like, but they were open to considering maybe a key that wasn't necessarily one that they've spent a lot of time on, but could possibly check the boxes. So we really looked from essentially Duck Key South. Yeah. And looked at, like I said, a lot of really beautiful.
Yeah, because they're all on the water.
Yeah.
Which was spectacular. Yeah. There's some that just had some incredible views.
Oh my gosh.
Technically they all had incredible views, because if you're looking at the water, that's a good enough view for me. Yeah. But some of them had open water views, and those just took it to the next level.
Yeah.
But, you got it. When you're searching, at least with us, we want you to find that house as who we were working with, just when you know. Yeah. And some of them weren't, and that's fine. Look, if you got to look at 10, 15, 20, 30 houses, we're here for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We like going and looking at houses also. Yeah. So it works out. But
and we want you to be really, really excited. And if you're buying a $3 million house,
$4 million, $5 million, $2 million
house, whatever it is,
whatever,
you should get what you want.
Yeah,
get what you want. Absolutely,
and you've earned it.
Absolutely.
And look, if this house doesn't have exactly what you want, it's kind of good. Yeah, it has the beautiful view. Yeah, but it doesn't have exactly kind of what you're looking for inside. Let's go to the next one. And we'll find it.
Absolutely.
And and that's, once again, you're in the Keys. You're looking at these beautiful houses. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we were in like the Marathon Duck Key area all day. Yeah. But it was awesome.
It was awesome.
We looked at a lot of beautiful houses with beautiful views.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they all have their pros and cons. Mm-hmm. And you can see where certain like lifestyles or priorities would gravitate to one house or another. And like, it's actually kind of funny because you have spent a lot of time in Key Colony, and I have spent a good amount of time in Key Colony just because before we moved to Key West, when we vacationed here for many years, our family vacationed in like the Middle Key area and specifically in Key Colony. And it's really funny because, you know, in Key West, I love historic homes, and I found myself in Key Colony. I think it's because of my appreciation for like the nostalgia factor or like the historic factor. But like, we looked at a house that was beautifully renovated in Duck Key, but you could tell it was renovated because it's like, it has all new finishes and fixtures and floor, you know, all of that. But you could see that it was still that like old Florida home. Like you could feel that. And there were like certain elements of like the like the walkway outside that they had, I think, like painted or refinished, but it was still kind of that older sort of like Keys, like outside tile. I love that. But like, I can
still
understand
gave you that Keys vibe.
Oh, absolutely. That feels nostalgic and feels like old Florida, like old, I guess when I say old Florida, what I mean is like 1960s, 1970s, like old Florida, you know, in that way. And going in, seeing some of like the quirks of like an older home that you still can feel that a little bit, but it's new and updated. I love that. But I can also completely understand that someone may want legitimately like new, like they want, you know, whether they want a new build or they don't really care for like the quirks, I guess you could say. So all of that to say, it totally is such a personal and really unique experience walking in, and the energy being like, ooh, I really like this place and I really resonate with this place, or like, this is just not for me. And I think there's a lot of places that I probably walked into and I just don't feel a connection with that, and someone else like totally that would.
I mean, there's obviously a house for everyone out there.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it too has to do with, and we've talked about this a little on the podcast, is the energy of things. I really do believe that like certain places have a certain energy that really like you resonate with, or it feels good to you or whatever. And I think that that's a big thing that, you know, probably a lot of people like in the real estate field, especially, like wouldn't necessarily talk about that. But I really believe in the energetics of a home, a place that you're going to spend time. So not only does the, you know, the price has to be right and the amenities have to be right and all of these different things,
you gotta vibe with it.
Like when people say like, I walked in and I just knew, that's an energy thing. Like, yes, it has a beautiful water view, and yes, it has a nice open floor plan and all of those things. But I really believe in like the energetics of, you know, that you just really resonate with a property.
Yep.
So yeah, but I mean, gosh, we looked at
a lot of beautiful houses. One of them will be our house of the week.
It will.
When we get to it. So that was actually probably the most we've talked about real estate on our podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're on podcast number 16, guys.
Yeah.
16 going on strong.
Yep.
Wow. 16.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's like 4 months.
It is.
Did I just do the math right?
You did. 16 divided by 4.
Equals 8.
Equals 8.
Yeah. Simple math, guys.
Simple math.
But yeah, no, that's kind of crazy that we've done 16 podcasts, and we're only going to continue to do more.
Yeah.
We have our first guests coming up this week.
Yep, the interviews this week. Yep.
And I'm going to try to pump them out fairly quickly. So you're probably going to end up starting to get 2 podcasts a week. And I really want to start sprinkling in some of our fun events that we do too.
Yes.
The only problem is, for YouTube, you got to do your phone horizontal.
Horizontal, yeah.
Or you should, if you're doing long videos. If you're doing the shorts, then it is vertical. But and most of the time, I'm on a live, so I can't do it. And Stephanie's shooting for TikTok, which is vertical.
Yeah. So we need to hire a videographer.
So we need to
just follow us around, like Kanye.
Yes.
We'll just have our documentarian following us around at all times.
Yeah, so if there's someone out there who wants to do that for free, let me know.
Well, maybe we could just put a little GoPro on Winnie, and she can
my gosh. Winnie, you want that?
She shoots all of our footage.
Yeah, so.
She says, no, I'm on the campaign trail.
But it was a fun week, so that took up a lot of our week, which is great. Weekend, but
Thursday,
scheduling
Fridays,
it out and everything.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal. That is by zero.
Yeah. We loved it.
A complaint.
Well, and part of the reason, too, I don't think a lot of people probably know this, but our market down here, more specifically like Key West and Lower Keys, but throughout the Keys, in Key West, we are not on the lockbox system. So, if you go into like Gainesville or something like that, a lot of homes that are for sale,
it's a little easier to schedule.
They're on lockboxes. So you call the list agent and you say, hey, I've got some clients. They're interested in looking at this property. And they say, great, here's the code to the lockbox. And you can go in and check it out.
Agent remarks.
Or it's in the agent remarks, right. Yeah. Yes, so you get the code and you and your clients go in and you get to check out the house, which is so convenient and so nice. But here on the island, it's a little bit different. So there are very few lock boxes. Most of the time you have to coordinate directly with the list agent who meets you there, or one of their team members will meet you there and let you in, and then they do the showing, which can be really nice because they know a lot more about the property, all the ins and outs. Like one of the properties we looked at this weekend, the list agent was just phenomenal, like knew everything. And it was so nice because there were some specific questions that we would have had to go back and get the answer to because it was so specific to the property. And having him there was really nice, but, it does make the process a little bit more challenging as far as scheduling because you are having to coordinate all of these different schedules and all of these different showings and stuff. So that's just a little fun fact of, Key West real estate specifically.
So then the beginning part of our week.
Yeah.
Our activity of the week was we went to the art studios and did an art class.
Right.
Collage.
Yeah. The Studios of Key West.
Exactly what I just said.
Is what the organization is called. So it's kind of, if you watch our TikTok video, it's kind of like the art mecca of Key West. So they have art like what you're thinking of, but they also do musical events. They have like art exhibits that are traveling or like temporary, and then they have like the permanent art exhibits, and they also are they do like an artist walk that we did, like they do different events, they have like everything. So anything sort of like art related, or a lot of the art related stuff in Key West kind of comes out of the Studios of Key West. So we took one of their classes. We took one of their classes. The collage class. Yeah, so it was by Michael Ross.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, but that's kind of why I didn't say, because I didn't want to
get his name wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Michael Ross was our instructor, and one of the reasons I chose that class when we were looking, because there were a number of classes to choose from, was because he also is the artist who is exhibiting his work right now at the studios when you first come in. So it's called House Quilts, and they're quilts that literally look like houses. You can go to like the Studios of Key West, and it'll show.
Or go to our TikTok video.
Or you can go to our TikTok video. I took video of his exhibit, but they are quilts that look like houses. They're 3D. They look like houses, but they are also wearable art because they are also like a cape with a hood when you put them on, because they're shaped like a house, but they're also kind of shaped like a hooded cape. They're spectacular. So beautiful. So, the quilts that he makes are like fabric collages kind of. So he taught this collage class that we took, and I was really excited to take it because we got to go check out his exhibit before we actually took the class, which was really cool. And then he was so sweet, so kind, so
he
precious.
He even said that he liked my stuff. My Picasso.
He was very encouraging. It was a super positive experience.
Yeah. It was 3 hours. Didn't really seem like 3 hours.
No. You walked in. They already had all of the materials and everything set out.
Which was really nice.
You just sat down, picked a spot. There was like 12 people in total. So it wasn't super packed.
And it was really spread out too. It was big, almost like a sheet of plywood. It was a 4x8 probably.
Yeah.
Table. So, and there's 4 of them.
Yeah. So. Big table. So there's 4 of us at a table, but it very spread out.
Plenty of workspace.
All the materials there, which was really nice. And then he gave some instruction and kind of let you work. And then he'd come around and like I'm going to use this word, which sounds negative, but like critique. It wasn't like a critique.
Yeah,
it was more of like feedback.
Words of encouragement
Yes.
to possibly make your artwork a little better. He didn't really have any for me.
Well, you can't critique perfection.
That's what I was going to say. He knew right off the bat it was a Picasso.
It was a Picasso.
And yeah, so what we were supposed to be doing our collage off of was, so he does mainly all of his are like houses,
right?
But he said it could be whatever you want it to be, just something that kind of brings you comfort and
feels like home,
yeah. All that good stuff. So Stephanie chose a quilt. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see her quilt that she did.
It's also in our TikTok video.
It is in our TikTok video, yeah. And then I did a Picasso. Mm-hmm. So this is Perry, obviously. I mean, clear as day.
It's obvious.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think maybe mine was a little bit too outside of the box, maybe.
It's art.
But I've already had several people offer me thousands.
Mm-hmm. Well,
dollars.
I really liked the class because, like, the reason that I wanted to take the art class is that and Greg can attest to this, I get very, like, perfectionistic about
I don't
things.
let her bake anymore.
So, and I feel like art or baking is like a kind of art, right? Like, you're creating something, like the act of creation. And I know intellectually that, like, the act of creation is really about the act of it, right? It's really about the doing of it. It's really about the experimenting and the journey. It's not really about necessarily the outcome. And so I know there's a lot of beauty in that journey. And I know that there's a lot of like positive things that can come out of going on a creative journey without like some, end result that you're trying to get to, or some like perfection, or, something at the end. But I have a really hard time with that. I think it's like, I think especially like it kind of gets taken out of you, like when you become like grown, like as a kid, you don't really have any bounds, and you're creative and your mind is creative. And like, I think there's research that shows that like 100% of children would qualify as like creative geniuses by like our like measuring standards or our metrics until like a certain age. And then it's like, we become so, conformist because of whatever. I won't go there, but this is becoming a little more deep, but no, I wanted to take the class because I felt like it forced me to, spend money and put myself in a position where I was like forcing myself to do something that was imperfect ultimately, where it's like, okay, I don't know where this is going to lead. I don't know. I'm just going to start going and just start putting things together that like I like together, and just kind of see where it ends up. And it doesn't have to be anything at the end. It's really more about the journey and the experience.
Let the art take over.
Yeah. And that's the best thing to do.
I was not sleeping, I promise. And I was just like, need a nose, need lips. Mm-hmm. Perry has a pink or purple mohawk. Done. What else? Oh yeah. She has a heart of gold, donut in her belly, ice cream ears, ray of sunshine, just little stuff like that.
Yeah,
it took the art came out. Took over.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it
was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad we did it.
Absolutely.
And now we have some art to display in the house. Mm-hmm. Probably should get ours framed. Maybe we can get them framed together.
We could.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then we'll get Mr. Michael to sign it.
Michael Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
So some of this, I thought it was kind of cool because, so he did some quick, like little, it's just literal, just like paint on paper.
Yeah. So the materials were like, we got these like boards that we were to, do the work on, which I think it's actually like beadboard. But,
yeah, it's just beadboard.
So we had these boards, and then we had black paper, like heavy black, like cardstock. And then we had like a bunch of different fabric.
Yep.
And we had a bunch of different pieces of like what had been white cardstock, but then he painted it. He like used brush strokes, or he used I don't know, like colored pencils or crayons or something, and like did marks on it. So it was just like all of these like
Yeah, I think it was
papers
all
with different
watercolor.
Yeah. So that's what Greg's talking about, is there were like these papers that just had like random like paint
Yeah.
strokes on them or whatever.
So I used like that for her tail,
Yeah.
mohawk,
Yep.
tongue,
Yep.
the background of this, and then the background of Perry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we did it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was nice to just put yourself in a position where it's like, okay, for 3 hours, I'm here to be creative. And another thing we were saying that we really liked about it too was, you know, like if you actually look at all of the different art classes that they have, there's so many different modalities. Like writing workshops. That was another thing I was trying to come up with, another thing that they do at the studios, but writing. So they have writing classes you can take. They have collage classes. They have like fiber work. There was one that was like, you know, fabric dyeing. I mean, there's so many different like classes. And what we were saying that's so nice about taking the classes is they have all the materials there, so you can like take a class and try it out before you go buy all the materials. Like if we would have like bought like, fabric and paper and all this stuff to like do these collages, for sure you would have it left over. And then it's like, well, what if I never want to do another collage, or I just don't?
And I think you'd get stuck like trying to pick out the fabric
I would.
And this was,
yes,
you had to use what was there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like almost the relief of like having less choices.
Yeah.
Right. It's like when you know, your teacher says, oh, you have to write an essay, you can write about anything. It's like, well, that's so, at least if you give me like 3 topics, you know, then it like narrows it down. That's kind of how it felt like, okay, this is the material you have to use and you've got to just run with this. And then you walk out, you have your piece, you don't have a bunch of extra stuff you got to store or throw away or make a choice about or whatever. Like it just felt, I don't know, I think it felt to me like relieving that it was just this sort of like dedicated space and time and everything was provided for you. And then like you leave with your artwork and that's done. And worst case scenario, it wasn't your favorite and you never have to do that kind of art again. Best case scenario, you loved it and now you kind of have like something maybe you want to do like more of. But yeah, I definitely want to take some more classes because I'm interested in a lot of the different things that they offer. And I think it's just like a cool opportunity to be creative and maybe like discover something you're like interested in pursuing further. So highly recommend.
Yep.
Highly recommend. I think it was $90 per person to take the class. If you're a member of the studios, you do get a discount off of the classes, but I think it was money well spent because again, it was, you know, going there and having like a dedicated time and space and like instruction and it kind of, you know, giving yourself permission to just go be creative for 3 hours. Anyone can take a class.
And
so if you're visiting,
you come up with.
Yeah, exactly. Pericassos.
Pericassos and quilts.
Maybe you should teach a Pericasso class.
Ooh.
You and Michael Ross can teach it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's really good.
Anyways, so that's what we did for the week.
Our adventure. Yeah.
And then obviously the real estate part. So it was a lot of fun. I got some merch in the mail. I got a new hat because I just want to try out the other hat that they have. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's kind of like a dad hat, like what they call a dad hat, where it's like the soft.
God. No, I don't like it.
No, it's like the style. It's not like a trucker cap. It's like a dad hat, like the kind of like softer, but it looks really good.
Really nice. A dad hat.
It does sound nice. You're a dad.
Got a couple she's over here.
When he's
all right,
dad.
We are hitting our house of the week.
So this house, the address is 1619 Long Beach Drive, Big Pine Key. And this is one of the houses.
Not in Key West this time, guys.
No, it's in Big Pine. So we're still in the lower Keys. But it is, it's one of the houses that we went and toured with our clients who are in town. It is absolutely stunning. It is truly like an estate.
It was really cool.
Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. It is listed for $2,999,999. And it's 3,160 square feet. It is a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Sorry, 4.5 bath. And it used to be a bed and breakfast. and it has since been converted. The person who bought it
and renovated
it. It's
did a phenomenal job.
Gorgeous. It's so pretty. One of the cool things about it, well, so it's all the bedrooms have ensuite bathrooms, which is amazing and makes sense that it was a bed and breakfast, right? But like that's so nice. If you have visitors, they have their own bathroom, you know. But I really liked. It's kind of like a U shape, like almost like a horseshoe type. And one end of the horseshoe had the kitchen and the living room. The views in this place.
Oh, yeah. You're looking out.
So gorgeous.
Open water.
Oh, my gosh.
Insane.
So gorgeous. So, you know, if you're staying anywhere in the house, really, you have, because it's just a wall of windows looking out over the water. But the kitchen was so cute, and they had this like original like stone wall that they kept that has a big oven in it, and it was a pizza oven. And I guess they've capped the gas, but you can bring it back, like you can turn the gas back on and make it a pizza oven. And I thought like, oh, what a cool like little extra thing to like have a pizza oven in your kitchen. I just thought that would be like
we'd be making pizza right now.
No question. Yeah, absolutely.
Pepperoni, what do we use?
Mushrooms. Yeah.
I almost said marshmallows, which probably would still be good.
S'mores pizza. So, and it had its own massive beach.
Yeah.
Like.
It's like 300 feet of beach.
Yes.
Beach.
I was going to look up and see how many feet of beach. Then the thing that's really nice about it, so you have a dock in the front of your house out in the water where the view is, but the control depth is a little shallow. It's very hard to get a boat in there. But if you go right across the street, you have a deeded boat slip.
Essentially.
So you just have to walk across the street. It's literally like maybe, I don't know, 100 steps or something from your front door. But you talk about the fish that you saw there, right?
I've never seen, and I've been on a lot of docks. I've never seen this many snapper mangroves and just fish in general hanging out there.
It was wild.
And I've never seen, there were at least 2 snapper that I saw that possibly could have, they were mangroves, so gray snapper.
Yeah.
I mean, bigger than any I've ever caught. Like they had to be, I mean,
it was
looked like small groupers.
Like the school of fish. Yeah. It was packed in this little.
And the other agent said they weren't there yesterday.
It was wild. Yeah. But it has like a 20,000 pound boat lift.
It was cool.
Very, very cool property. Yeah. It has this old bell up at the top it's not functional anymore, but it's beautiful, and it's just such a cool like
unique
architectural
piece.
Detail.
Yeah.
It has a ton of space underneath that you can park under there.
Yep.
Or store stuff under there if you want to put like an outdoor kitchen under there. There's not a pool, but there's a perfect spot for one, and it would be
infinity pool.
Oh my gosh, because it's like a little bit raised, and so like if you put an infinity pool in right over the water, I mean, just the perfect spot for it. It's a beautiful estate, and it's down this like road. It's not really far, but it feels like a very private road. Yeah. And so like there's very little traffic. It was super quiet, but you scoot right up the road, and I mean, you're quick to everything, but you're not in a super busy neighborhood or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's mostly just like estates down that road. So very cool pretty spot. Very pretty property. Very pretty property. Yeah. So
that's our house of the week.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
What?
Is there anything fun and exciting going on this week? I need a nap.
Why?
I had so much fun this week.
Oh, because we've had a busy week.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, Winnie's getting comfy over there.
Okay, so the Fringe Theater is doing an event called A Woman of the World. So it says Emily Dickinson's neighbor Mabel Loomis Todd pushed to have the reclusive poet's work published. Is it posthumous? Humorous. After she died.
Yeah. Posthumous.
Humously. Posthumously. Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Posthumously.
I don't know how to say that word.
I just said it 10 times.
But the life of the unconventional Mabel Loomis Todd is the far more intriguing story with witty and insightful scandals and true performance at the Key West Women's Club, 319 Duval Street. So, yeah, I think
if you're a woman, go hit it up.
Well, yeah. And then I thought this was actually kind of interesting. So that's March 14th to the 18th. March 16th, they have the Southernmost Chamber Music Society, a spring mix-up. It's a great event of music from the ages.
To just go like jam out?
To like, yeah, at St. Paul's Episcopal Church, which is at 401 Duval. You know where that is? That's the one there on the corner.
Haunted?
Yeah, the one on the corner of Eaton Street.
You're just going to like hang out at the
just
corner
like
of
jam
the
to
street?
chamber music. No, it's at the church. It's at that corner, St. Paul's Episcopal Church. It's the Southernmost Chamber Music Society spring mix-up. The
Dang.
Chamber Music Society spring mix-up. Yeah, so I mean,
that's something you need to join. You could bring your tambourine.
Oh my God, they're like
your
chamber
saxophone.
No, they're like organs only. Like no. So, anyways, I thought that was very
Is that
like
what it is?
Yes, that's what chamber music is. The organs at the church.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, who knows that?
Not you.
Not me. Not no one on here knows what chamber music is.
Chamber Music Society. I thought that was like so cool.
I just figured it was people just jamming out, bringing in whatever instruments they play.
I mean, I'm sure they.
So it's only like the big organs at churches. So they're all just going to gather around that one organ and be like, "All right, Judy, you're up," and then you'd be like, "All right, Todd, you're up."
I don't know.
And they're just going to be like, "Okay, what are you going to play for?" It says, "This is an original."
Okay, well, actually, so I've just looked up chamber music, and it says chamber music is a form of classical music that is composed for a small group of instruments, traditionally a group that could fit in a palace chamber or large room. When I think of chamber music, I think of just organs, and especially that it's at a church.
You're the only one that's ever thought of that.
Maybe.
Maybe you owe someone in this room
music composed for small ensembles of instrumentalists. Oh, okay.
What?
Didn't
hear you.
Wait, but what would I be apologizing for?
That it isn't only organs.
Well, why am I apologizing?
You tried to make me feel like a fool, just like that guy on TikTok did. Where he said that you were more enjoyable than me. Engaging. You haven't forgotten that. I see her standing in front of the mirror sometimes, and she's like, "You are engaging way more than your husband."
Oh
she just
my God.
It's just her little mantra. I am more engaging and pleasant than Greg.
Yeah, well.
I am more engaging and pleasant than Greg. And then everyone's like, "Yeah, no crap."
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so...
We're going on some major rants today.
Yeah. Tangent. We're a little tired.
We are a little tired. I'll tell you what, though. When we were coming home yesterday from Key Colony Beach, when we were on our way home, man, that sun was insane.
So pretty.
If you're part of our Facebook group, I'll bet you Stephanie's going to put one of those up tonight.
I am. I was waiting till tonight, like around sunset, because I didn't post it last night when I actually took it at sunset.
Yeah, because we didn't get home till late. But yeah, it was absolutely beautiful. It looked fake.
It did. It actually. You said something. You said that it looked like when you see like those videos or pictures of like the sun going down in Africa,
like in the safaris and stuff.
Yeah, that's really what it looked like. I mean, it looked.
Because it was over the water. You had like some of the like little tiny dot islands. I made that name up, but we'll call them that. I think that might stick. Dot islands.
Well, and like where like the mangroves where they're like all
the mangroves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it really did. It reminded me of that. I can't remember the last time I saw the sun look that.
That would have been a cool one to be at sunset at Mallory Square.
Oh my gosh! Yes, absolutely.
And you guys will get to live it soon.
So a couple of other things. So one thing that I thought was kind of cool was Dr. Mater, who is a very, I guess I would say, well-known veterinarian who is local to the Keys. He's doing a lecture at the College of the Florida Keys on Wednesday, March 15th called Pythons in the Everglades. Unfortunately, it's going to be at the College of the Florida Keys Upper Keys Center in Key Largo, so we won't go to it. But if you're up there, I think that sounds like a really cool thing to go check out. And Dr. Mater's cool, so it's going to be like a really good talk. And then let's see, if you're in Key West, Old Island Restoration Foundation 63rd Annual Key West Tour of Homes. So they do this like 4 times a year. It's quarterly. So it'll be March 17th and 18th. So you tour beautiful, historic Key West homes and gardens. Your ticket purchase supports the ongoing mission of preserving and promoting Key West's unique architecture, culture, and history. And the tickets can be purchased online in advance for $45 for members, or $55 for non-members, or $60 at the door. And again, just Google Old Island Restoration Foundation Key West Homes Tour. So that's on the 17th. There's quite a bit going on. I don't want to miss anything. Let's see. And then also on the 17th, the Key West Art and Historical Society offers a free lecture by, I think it's Sharika Crawford, called The Last Turtle Men of the Caribbean, Labor, Conservation, and Boundary Making from the Cayman Island to Key West, at 6 p.m. at Tropic Cinema, which is located at 416 Eaton Street. So I think that that's going to be really cool about the history of like the turtle fishermen and maybe turtle trade like on the island, which was outlawed back in like the 70s, but it was a really big deal on the island for centuries, I think. So I think that could be really cool. Yeah, so there's more stuff too, but those are kind of the main.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah, those are the main ones. So
cool.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
So that's that. We're going to figure out, we don't know what we're going to do. We didn't really eat at a place to eat this week.
Yeah, not really.
But we will try this week full show.
Yes, we need to make it a priority.
Yeah, and then it's hard to think right now what to do because I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, we just got to, like, we try to always, like, clean our place, get our everything ready for the week, you know, going into the week, so we don't have to do a bunch of laundry during the week and stuff like that. So we're kind of focused on that, and then we'll figure out what our adventures are for the week and all that. Oh, I wanted to do my food thing. Remember I told you food. This is a food podcast now. But anyways, so the thing that we discovered this week is wild blueberry juice. We order it from Wyman's, WYMAN''S. That was one of the things that I was putting in our Amazon storefront. So if you're interested, you can go into our storefront and check it out. It is delicious, and wild blueberries are
super beneficial.
Extremely good for you. Very beneficial in a lot of different ways. So instead of eating a bunch of them or putting them in smoothies, which is fine, you can also get wild blueberry powder, which Greg puts in his smoothies, which is also great. But if you want a different way to consume them, the juice is absolutely delicious and, yeah, really easy to drink. So that's our find. Delicious and also extremely good for you.
And fantastic.
Yes, and fantastic for health.
Fantastic for your health.
Yeah, so very good.
Also, since I always forget to say this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy our content. We greatly appreciate all the likes and the comments and sharing with your friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And I've been
in advance
posting regularly on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So go follow us over there. We do our lives every morning. And then for the rest of the day, you can catch us on Instagram stories pretty much. I've been documenting what we have going on every day on our stories as much as I can. And also our Facebook page, Living in Key West. That's growing pretty quickly. So
by the day.
Catch us over there. We post different stuff to the different platforms. So you'll see different things depending on where you subscribe. Yeah. And we appreciate anything you share.
Yeah. And once again, if you're interested in any real estate down here in the Keys, reach out to us. Let us know.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week. See ya.